Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to tonight's matchup against your Iowa State Cyclones and the Davenport University Panthers. The starting lineup for your Iowa State Cyclones tonight at left wing, number 91, John Kovarik. At right wing, number 18, Michael Mulcair. At center, number 5, Stuart Pearson. At left defense, number 20, Ben Vandenstein. At right defense, number 9, Bryan Nelson. And in net for your Cyclones tonight, Harrison Mullen.
He is assisted by Jeremy Baltimore, Joe Messina, Edward Thompson, and Chris Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remember your caps as we honor our hero with the playing of our national anthem.
I'm gonna have Ranger do it really quick. I'm gonna have Ranger until you get food.
Oh, he's gonna get my food.
Oh,
Are you getting my food?
gotcha.
Yeah, give me ketchup too.
Welcome to the opening draw, Stuart Pearson for the Iowa State Cyclones, and Bauer for your Davenport Panthers. Davenport now in their own zone. Up over the center ice. Spanish team plays it across to Nelson. Nelson up to Mulcairn. Mulcairn gets it tipped in deep. Gutierrez on the pickup for Davenport. They'll play it up the wall on the far side. Number 91 chips it out. Glove down by Fanenstein. Put right back into the near corner where Guther can play it behind the net and leave it for his defenseman. He'll play it up the far wall. He'll wait with it, and then he'll throw it up the far wall to number 28, trying to chip it past Fanenstein. It doesn't go. Fanenstein now to Mulcairn over the red. Now over the blue. Put the shot on net. Pat it aside. Number 81 trying to go up the boards. And number 27, who turns it over at center ice to pick up by Schultz, trying to go over Mulcairn just out of his reach. Davenport picks it up to their defense, and they'll throw it up to center ice. And Davenport will put it in D. The Cyclones play it out towards center, and it's Beslin. On the pickup for Iowa State, a shot into the blocker of Guther, and it scores! A weird bounce for the Cyclones, but it makes it 1-0 off a weird deflection off of one of the Panthers' defense. Cyclones on top, 1-0. 18:49 left in the first period. Off a ricochet goal. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones. Number 17 for Davenport. Eaton wins it to his wing, where Franny will pick it up and dump it into the near corner. The Davenport defense will pick it up, and he'll get bodied by Eaton. Now Jarecki with it. Poking it along for Eaton. Jarecki trying to find Davenport in front, doesn't go. Kept on the line by Kirby Larson. Off the post goes Kirby's shot. Looked like it might have been tipped by Jarecki. Gutierrez will cover up for a whistle. 18:29 left in the first period. Cyclones on top, 1-0. Eaton against 17. Eaton wins it to Jarecki on the far wall. Davenport defense takes it now behind the net, and he'll try and play it through. Bryan keeps it at the line, at least I thought he was, but then flared offside. He'll play it back to Kirby Larson, and he'll go to Davenport. Davenport now trying to find the center. They do. 12-14 over the Cyclone blue. A shot into Harrison Moen's glove. 18:04. Folks, sorry about this big beam in the way and not being able to see the near corner, but that's all we can do for tonight. So I'll try and get you around it. Face off to the left-hand side of Moen as Carroll takes a draw against number 6. Nelson on the pickup on the wall, plays it back to Carroll, goes off the glass, and chipped out by Pecana. Davenport defense picks up at their own blue, shows it up the far wall. Chipped in deep, Nelson will pick up, fakes the rim, goes up the far wall. Helped out by Pecana, right back to Nelson, over to Millens. Millens over the blue. Tries putting a shot on net, tipped aside, and Gutierrez will play it to the near corner. Davenport defense trims it around to the far board, chipped out. 61 on the pickup at center ice for Davenport. Over the blue. Now Pecana behind the Cyclone net. Brings it to the near wall. Just out of reach for Carroll. Now Nelson has it. Up to Millens. Millens. Up to Carroll. Carroll over center ice. 1-on-4. Dumps it in deep. Gutierrez will play it for the Panthers. Up the near wall now. Davenport comes along. Pinched off by Pearson. Pearson now putting it down to Kovarik. Kovarik finding Mulcairn, tries finding Elaine, doesn't go. Gutierrez standing on his head right now as the multiple rebounds don't go in for the Cyclones. Gutierrez covers up for a whistle. 16:56 left in the first period. Cyclones on top, 1-0. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones, 15 for Davenport. Pearson tries putting a shot through, doesn't go. Davenport tries playing up the near wall, they do. 15 on the pickup at Neutral ice. Now Schultz has it behind his net. Throwing it up the far wall to Kovarik, kept in by Davenport defense. Now Kress has it. Kress now behind the Cyclone net. Looking for some help. Now going to Schultz. Schultz up the wall to Kovarik, just out of his reach, and the Panthers play it back into the Cyclone zone. Now Kress in the far corner with it. Up to the near corner. Try and find Mulcairn, it doesn't go. Mulcairn now with it. Now to Kovarik. Kovarik over center, now over the blue. Gets pinched aside, and number 4 will pick it up for Davenport. 15 in the near corner. Tries throwing it up the wall, gets it through. It's going to be a foot race for Kress. All the way down for icing it goes. 16:05 left in the first period. Cyclones on top, 1-0. Kress back on the draw for the Cyclones. Against 15 for Davenport. Davenport plays it out into their penalty box. Whistle blown. 16:01 left in the first. Cyclones already with 6 shots on the board in just under 4 minutes. Kress back on the draw. Wins it back to Girardi. Girardi with a shot covered by Guthier. 15:57 left in the first. Kress back on the draw again against number 8. Wins it to Dorfman with a quick shot blocker to Sock. Larson now. Now Girardi behind the net, playing it to the near wall to Dorfman. Picked up by Kressback. Defender takes a stumble, and Everett passes it along to Kressback, and he makes it 2-0. 2-0 Cyclones. 15:40 left in the first period. 10 shots on net for the Cyclones. An explosive start for the Cyclones here in the first period. Westland and Kressback with the 2 goals for the Cyclones. Pakana on the draw. Take that back. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones against number 17. Gets chipped through by Davenport. 17 tried strangling with it, leaves it behind for Eaton. Eaton up the near wall, chips it through. It's going to be a foot race. Guthier comes out of his net to play it. Behind the net he does. Throws it up to the point, kept in by Fanenstein. Turned a shot on, turned aside by Guthier. Now picked up by Davenport. 91 over the ice for Davenport. 94 tries throwing a shot, tipped aside by Nelson. Over into the near corner to Jarecki, plays it back behind the net for Fanenstein, just out of his reach. He'll chip it up to Davenport, and it will get played aside by Davenport Panthers. Now Jarecki has it on the near wall. Gets played back to Nelson in the near corner. Nelson, back to Jarecki on the near wall. To Eaton. Finally out of the Cyclone zone, now over center ice. It's chipped away by the Panthers. The Panthers throw it in on net on Moen, and he'll pass along to Fanenstein. Now Nelson trying to find Pakana at center and throwing it to Millens just out of his reach on a hop, skip, and a bounce, and the Panthers play it in. Now Nelson with it. Plays it down with his hand, and the Panthers take it in. The Panthers starting to pick up their physicality here, and they'll play it to the point on the near wall. A shot. Blocked aside by Millens. Pakana on the far wall, playing it up to Carroll. Carroll gets it chipped away from him. Pakana has it now at the blue. Now to Millens. Chipping it in deep finally. Now where Guthier can play it behind his net. Leaves it for his defenseman. Going up to the far wall. And they'll chip to center ice. Kress now with it on the near side. Up to McCarran. Oh, over center, over the blue. And coming in, trying putting a shot through, gets taken away by the Panthers defense. Now Kress to Schultz. Schultz down to McCarran, trying to find Kress. A weird bounce, and it will go all the way down. Picked up by Kress. Played back to Schultz on the near wall. Schultz tried putting a pass through to Pearson. Gets taken away by the Panthers. McCarran now with it. Leaves it for Schultz. Chips it through. And it gets chipped back by the Panthers. Now Kress over center. Chipped it in deep on the near side. Koveric into chase behind the net. Played up the far wall. Couldn't get past Mulcairn. Tries trying it back to Koveric. Now Pearson with it at the top of the circle. Tries going down to Mulcairn. Trying to find Koveric. Now played up to Franny at the point. Now the Panthers over center ice. And they'll put it deep into the near corner. Franny plays it back behind the net to Schultz. Schultz going up the far side to Beslin. Beslin to Franny, and it'll take a weird bounce off the skate and go into the near corner on the attack zone for the Cyclones. Picked up by the Panthers, now at the near wall. 91 tries playing it through, gets forced down by Franny. 91 over center, now over the blue, plays it alongside to the far blue, passing it along with a missed shot by the Panthers, picked up now by Eaton. Fresh back. Now, Larson with it in the corner, playing it back to Franny. Behind the net, up the near wall, just out of the reach of Dorfman. Dumped in by the Panthers, kept out by Larson. Trying finding Dorfman at the far blue, couldn't handle it, and the Panthers will reconvene in their end. Dorfman now takes it away on the near wall, walking towards the center, a weak backhand shot, but kept in by Nelson. Now into the far corner, Beslin with it. Tries finding Dorfman in front, couldn't put a handle on it, and the Panthers will chip it through. Kept out by Nelson. Chipped in by Kreshback, now to Beslin. Beslin with another shot, right into the blocker of Guthier. 11:37 left here in the first period. Cyclones on top, 2-0. Shots for the Cyclone is 12, shots for the Panthers 2. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones. Wins it back, picked it up by Nelson. Nelson over to Fanenstein. Fanenstein with a shot. Oh, rebound. Now pops back out to Fanenstein, over to Nelson, back to Fanenstein, and Fanenstein puts it in the near corner, picked up now by Davenport. Davenport to Jarecki. Jarecki with a weird angled shot, gets blockered aside, and Davenport will break out. Davenport chips it into the far corner. Fanenstein picks it up. Left for Nelson. Nelson up to the far wall for Davenport. Davenport was looking now for option, leaves it for Eaton, try get chipping it past, doesn't get hit through Jarecki in his tie-up. Now Davenport goes back the other way. Picked up by Kress on the near wall, now to Jarecki. Jarecki tries chipping one through to get to Carroll, it doesn't go, and we got a penalty upcoming. And it looks like the Cyclones are going on the power play. 2 minutes tripping the call on number 61, Tyler Kaminsky. Crash back, Dorfman, Beslin, Nelson, and Pearson out on the power play for the Cyclones. Crash back on the draw. Wins it back to Nelson. Nelson while walking the line over to Pearson. Pearson going back to Nelson. Over to Beslin. A one-timer shot off the pad. Picked up by Nelson at the point. Shot again, but tipped out by the Panther defense. Beslin now with it on the near wall. Playing it now behind his net to Pearson. Pearson leaving it for Kreshback. Kreshback going to Beslin up the near wall. And the Panthers clear all the way back down, now played by Moen behind his net, left for Nelson. Nelson up the near wall to Dorfman. Dorfman over the blue, just taken away by the Panthers, and the Panthers clear once more. Minute 20 left on the power play for the Cyclones, picked up now by Nelson, left back for Pearson on the far wall. Now crash back to Beslin. Beslin still with it. Puts it in deep, chased down by Pearson. Davenport tries playing it out, picked up now by Crushback. A weird bounce, and the Panthers have it once more, and they'll clear it. Out to center ice to Nelson. Now to Dorfman. Now to Beslin. Beslin with it at center. Putting it to Pearson. Pearson. Now to Crushback. Crushback. Throwing a shot on net. Rebound in front. Pearson can't find the rebound. And the Panthers clear once more. 40 seconds left on your Cyclone power play. 9:27 left in the first period. Cyclones on top 2-0. Koveric now on the far wall. Losing the puck just out of his reach, picked up by the Panthers. Number 4 will take it over the line, try and walk through 4 guys, loses an edge, and now Mulcairn has it. Mulcairn over center, now over the blue. Plays it back to Koveric, a shot! And Gutierrez covers up. 8:57 left in the first, 9 seconds left on your Cyclone power play. Cyclones on top, 2-0. Mulcairn on the draw for the Cyclones against Davenport's 15. Played across by Davenport and tipped out. Now Kress in the near corner, playing it up the wall. It's taken away by Davenport. Now up the far wall to Davenport on the Cyclones. Now Mulcairn has it over the blue. Turning back with it, looking for options. Now putting it into the corner, picked up by the Panthers. The Panthers trying to chip it through, couldn't get back to Koveric. Trying to find Mulcairn in front, chipped aside, and Gutierrez plays it through. Now Mulcairn behind the net, playing it to Picana. Mulcairn again, now playing it to Larson on the wall. Larson with it. Throwing a shot on net, looking for Koveric, trying to get the rebound, and the Panthers play it out. 81 now. Over the line. Offside's the call. 8:10 left in the first period. Cyclones on top, 2-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones for 16. 3 for the Panthers. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones against 17. Eaton wins it back. Over to Schultz on the far wall. Plays it up to Picana. Tries tipping it through to Eaton. Almost gets by, but the Panthers pick it up. Now it gets taken away by the Cyclones. Drecke now with it in the near corner. Played back to Kress. Kress throwing it up the wall to Eaton. Eaton trying to chip it through. Doesn't go. Panthers throw a shot on net just wide. And they throw another one on net and saved off the shoulder by Moen. Another shot by the Panthers gets tipped high and wide by the Cyclone defense. 7:36 left in the first period. Cyclones on top, 2-0. Fresh back on the draw for the Cyclones. 24 for the Panthers. Pressback wins it back. Pannenstein. Pannenstein plays it up to Besslin. Now to Dorfman. Dorfman tries playing it across. Pressback. Pressback a shot. Pad save by Gutierrez for a cover. 7:24 left in the first. Pressback on the draw against number 24 for Davenport. Pressback wins it back to Dorfman. Dorfman with a quick shot, gloved aside by Gutierrez. We'll get a repeat draw. Pressback on the draw. It's chipped through by the Panthers. Panthers now with it. Over center. Now 51 on the near side. On the backhand, waits up, throws a shot off a stick, out of play. 7:10 left in the first period. Cyclones on top, 2-0. Cyclones now with 18 shots to the Panthers 4. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones, number 24 for the Panthers. Played on the near song, wall to the Panthers defense. Gets thrown in deep where Koveric will play it up the wall and chip it out through center. A chase. And it's going to go all the way down for icing. Just needed a little bit more snow to turn that in favor for the Cyclones. Just couldn't get it. 6:58 left in the first period for the Cyclones on top, 2-0. Shots remain the same, 18-4. We'll get a repeat draw Pearson against number 24 for the Panthers. Pearson wins it back. Nelson now with it. Up to Mulcairn on the near wall. Now to Pearson over center. Now over the blue. Posting up, looking for options, throwing it in deep to Mulcairn in the near corner. Walking behind the net. Throwing it up the wall to Pfannenstein. Over across for Nelson, just out of his reach. He'll chip it in, where it can be played by the Panther defense. And they'll keep it behind their net. Waiting for options. The Panthers throw in the center. Picked up by Franny at neutral ice. Chipped in to Mulcairn. Mulcairn a quick shot, blocked aside by Guthier. Now Mulcairn with it in the far corner. Gets taken down, no call on the play. Chip behind the net. Pearson on the chase. Weird ricochet. Pearson almost got a shot through. And now a foot race. Played aside by Larson, now picked up by Franny. Franny over the blue, tries chipping it through, gets bodied aside. Panthers try throwing one up the middle, couldn't go. Now Eaton with it on the near wall. Eaton throwing a shot on the net, paddled aside in the netting by Guthier. 5:48 remaining in the first period. Cyclones on top 2-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones 19-4. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones. Panthers win it back. Now picked up by Jarecki, throwing one in front just out of the reach of Davenport. Now the Panthers go up the near wall, throwing one in deep. All the way around to the far corner. The puck will be met by two Cyclones and a Panther and be forced out of play. 5:35 left in the first period. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones. Against the Panthers, number 15, picked up by Kress. Now to Jarecki on the near wall, passing it to the far side for Davenport. Panthers 77 with the pickup now behind the net, throwing it up to number 8, picked off by Kress on the near wall. Now 8 has it and puts it through. Schultz will pick it up in his own zone, throwing it across to Kress. Back to Schultz. Schultz over the red. Putting one in, trying to put one through, couldn't get past the Panther defense. Now Eaton plays it over to Kress. Kress over the blue, throw the shot on net, waffle boarded aside, and played out by the Panthers. Now to Eaton in the corner. Eaton walking to the top of the circle, fires a shot just high and wide. Kress keeps it in, just firing a shot, couldn't get through the Panther in front of him. Panthers with chip and chase. 15 on 15. Schultz reverses to Eaton just out of his reach. The Panthers will throw a shot, blocked by Jarecki's skate, open over the net. Davenport will try and chip it through, doesn't get past the Panther defense. Now Eaton with it. Tries getting it through center ice, gets picked off by the Panthers. Now they reconvene in their own zone. 16, now looking back to 15, gets taken away by Pacana. Now Millens with it over the blue, and it gets thrown in, and Guthier is going to cover. 4:11 left in the first period. Cyclones on top, 2-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 20-4. Fresh back on the draw. This line for the Cyclone has both the goals. Fresh back and Bessel. Fresh back wins it back to Pfannenstein, who throws it into the far corner. Now Besselin with it in the near corner. We're throwing a reverse hit, a mad scrum on the near wall, and the Panthers come out behind their own net with the puck. Taking time and space, number 16 passing across to his partner, number 4. Going up the net, center ice, number 91 dumps it in. Pfannenstein on the pickup for the Cyclones behind his net, plays it in the near corner for Dorfman, now passed along to Kreshback, gets taken away by the Panthers. Now Dorfman has it. Gets pushed aside, now Nelson has it behind his net, tipping it up to the far wing, which is Besselin. Now playing it back to Nelson. Nelson still with it. Trying to find Kreshback, couldn't find him. Gets taken away by the Panthers, and they're going the other way. They try throwing it in deep, a weird bounce, and it's off the stick of Dorfman, and Kreshback tries playing it across. Now picked up by Dorfman once more. Penalty coming to the Panthers. again, and it looks like holding's the call on number 14, Brandon Fuller. Cyclones will see their second power play of the night. 3:05 left in the first period. Cyclones on top, 2-0. Brandon Fuller in the box for holding. Mulcahy, Kovarik, Davenport, Kress, and Larson on the power play for your Cyclones. Mulcahy on the draw, wins it back to Kress. Over to Larson. Larson throwing a shot. Blocker to side. Mulcahy on the pickup. Larson now. Kress finding his partner, gets taken away by a Panther defense. And the Panthers will hold on to it. And they'll send it all the way down. Larson on the pickup in the far corner. Waiting behind his net. Kovarik swings. Up to Kress. To the far side for Davenport. Davenport waiting for Kress. Gets taken by Kovarik. Now over to Larson. Larson at the top. Working to Kress. Kress down to Kovarik. Kovarik walking the top of the circle. Over to Larson. Larson ripping a shot right into the glove of Guthier for a cover. 2:15 left in the first period. 1:10 left on your Cyclone power play. Cyclones are still on top, 2-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 23-4. Mulcahy on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers, number 8. Plays back to Kress. Kress throws it in deep and then gets buried by the Panthers. Davenport on the far wall, throws it back. Kept in now by Kress. Gets taken away. And a quick little battle for it. Now picked up by Kovarik. Kovarik throwing it down to Mulcahy. Back to Kovarik. Tries putting one through to Davenport. Patted aside and cleared out by the Panthers. 1:45 left in the first. 40 seconds left on your Cyclone power play. As they get power play number 2 out there. Larson holding behind the net. Now leaving it for Nelson. Nelson. Looking for Dorfman, gets picked off. Back to Pearson. Pearson to Beslin. Just out of his reach. Guthier will play it. Off his defenseman. Beslin tries turning a shot aside. Doesn't get through. Kept in by Nelson. Down to Kreshback. Over to Pearson. Back to Nelson. Nelson with a shot tipped in front. Headed aside. And Pearson on the pickup. Power play over for the Cyclones. Nelson now with it. Turns a shot on net. Cleared out by the Panthers. Nelson will chase at center ice. And he'll turn up with it. Catching the red, throwing it on net. And Guthier will cover. 47 seconds left in the first period. Cyclones on top, 2-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 26-5. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers, 15. Wins it back to Schultz. Schultz putting a shot through. Tipped wide, now picked up by Davenport in the near corner. Played back to Jarecki, gets picked off by number 4 for the Panthers. Now 15 with it behind the net. Playing it to the far wall. 81 throws it in. 30 seconds left in the first. Now picked up by Girardi behind the net. Playing it through. The Panthers try squeaking one through. Loose puck in front. Played out. Schultz chips it aside. And a big mad scramble there almost gave the Panthers 1. Now Davenport holds the line with it. Just under 10 seconds. Still turning aside. Now Schultz with it. Throwing a shot through. Gets tipped down by the Panthers. Looking to clear. 2-1. Period expires. Cyclones end the first period on top. 2-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 26-6. Moen. Last 20-second mad scramble was able to keep it out. Folks, we'll see you next period. Welcome back into the Patterson Ice Center. The second period is about to begin. Talk about last period. Cyclones on top 2-0 after the first. 26 shots for the Cyclones, for the Panthers to only have 6. Coming into this game, Davenport played a fair amount of games. But they have 113 goals for, 100 goals against. Goals against average is 3.8. The power play is 23%. For the Cyclones, goals for, 38, goals against 45, goals against average 3.5, and the power play 12%. Out there to begin the second period for your Cyclones. Pearson at center, winged by Hoverick and McCarron. Vandenstein and Nelson on the point. Mullen still in net. And the second begins. The Panthers win it back to number 2. And he'll play it up the far wall to 81, playing it to the near wall for number 12. 12 over the line. Toe drag, release shot, waffle boarded aside into the corner, chipped up, kept back in by the Panther defense. Now number 81 has it for the Panthers. Getting held to the board by Pearson. Pearson now walking to the near corner with it. Out towards center ice, looking for McCarron, just out of his reach, bounced off the wall into the crease of Gutierrez, where he will freeze and cover it. 19:29 left in the second period. Just a few seconds click off this clock here to start. Cyclones still on top, 2-0. Fresh back on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers, number 15. Panthers win it back. Now 94 has it. Up in the near wall for 81. 81 off the glass. Played out to center by Crushback. Now back to Nelson. Now Vandenstein plays it through to Nelson. Up the near wall off the glass. Gloved down by a Panther. Now picked up by 81. Passed alongside to 94. Picked up by Vandenstein over to Nelson. He has a tough time handling that, but plays it up to Crushback. And the Panthers turn it back to Vandenstein. Now at his own blue, picking up to Besson. Now Crushback. Over to Dorfman, knocked down by the Panthers, and the Panthers will head up ice. Kept back in by Nelson, putting it to Gutierrez, where he will leave it for his defenseman. 18:40 left in the first. Cyclones on top, 2-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 27-5. And the Panthers break it out over to center. Now over the blue, 15 on the wall. Leaves it for Kress. Kress with it. Getting out against the wall. Kress tries playing it to Dorfman. Now playing it back to Schultz behind his net. Up to Bessel. Turning aside. Now chipping it through just out of the reach of Dorfman. Panthers 16 will pick it up in the far corner. Turn up ice. Now up the near wall. 16 still with it. Chips it in deep into the near corner. 15 to chase. Schultz rims it through for Jarecki. Gets by. Eaton almost collides with a Panther. Now Davenport plays up to Jarecki with a quick shot off the blocker into the near corner. And Kress plays it back to Jarecki. Up to Davenport. Now walking to the dot. Quick shot just wide of the glove of Gutierrez. Schultz with it now. Throws a shot on net. Tipped by the Panthers almost into their own goal, but played aside by Gutierrez, and the Panthers will clear it all the way out, down to Moen, where he will play it to Kress, up to Schultz. Now back up to Davenport. Davenport throws it in the near corner. Jarecki picks it up on the far corner, leaves it for Eaton. Eaton on the far wall has it stripped from him by the Panthers. Panthers turn up with it now. 4 up the near wall, cutting back towards center. Penalty upcoming to the Cyclones. It's going to be Davenport hooking the call. 17:06 left here in the second period. Cyclones are still on top, 2-0. However, they will go on the penalty kill. Can the Panthers convert? Larson, Pearson, Millens, and Schultz on the penalty kill for the Cyclones. Pearson on the draw. Wins it back to Larson. Larson up, holding it in the corner. Almost has it stripped from him. And the Panthers throw it back up top. Now Larson's still with it. Tries throwing it off the boards. The Panthers keep it in. The Panthers throw one. Covered by Mullen. Whistle. 16:50 left in the second period. 1:44 remaining in the penalty to the Cyclones. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 29-8, as the Panthers win it back to the point off the draw. '81 and 14 will play catch with it on the wall. At 81 now with it, and back to 14. Throw the shot aside, patted aside by Moen. Puck still loose behind the net. Gets played out, deflected aside by Pearson. The Panthers at the top of the circle looking for a shot. Can't get one through. They play it back to the point. Over to 14. 14 is a shot tipped just wide. And another one. Mullen wasn't ready, but it was tipped aside. The Panthers still with it in the far corner. Playing it now behind the net. Now into the near corner. Up the wall to 14, over to 77 on the far point. He'll walk the wall, throw it in deep, where 12 can get it behind the net. It's stripped from him by Schultz. Schultz tries clearing out of the zone off a shin pad, rims back in deep. Larson clears, go all the way back down. Cyclones will get a three-man change. High sticking the call on Davenport. Face off inside the offensive zone for the Cyclones. 15:35 left in the second period. 29 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Cyclones. Veslin with the draw, wins it back to Nelson. Nelson a quick shot off the blocker, high and wide. Dorfman throwing a shot from the boards. Davenport now behind their net. Breaking up with it. 77. Looking through center ice, gets by to 81. Gets played through. Tipped aside by the Cyclones. And the power play comes to the end but for the Panthers. As the Cyclones become back to full strength. As 17 gets off the shot and gets cleared out of the zone. Veslin on the chase, help from Kazmierczak. Davenport reconvenes in the far corner, now to the near corner. 77 looking for a cross to 12. 12 looking to the near side for 51, picked off by Nelson. Left side for Veslin, now chipped through by Dorfman to Kazmierczak. Kazmierczak trying to find Dorfman, doesn't get through, and the Panthers break out. And it will get chipped through, now picked up by Nelson in his own zone. Nelson up the wall to Kress. Kress leaving it for Veslin. Veslin pulling a shot just over the glove of Gutierrez, kept in by Dorfman, thrown into the far corner, kept by Kazmierczak. Now Kress with it. Looking to the center to Mulcairn. Mulcairn, a shot! Tipped! Scored by Kazmierczak! Alright, it should be good. Yeah. Shot from Mulcairn, tipped by... Cyclones on top 3-0. Panthers play it back. And Franny with it. Now over center to Pearson, tipped aside. Mulcairn now with it. Trying to find Kovarik, couldn't pull the trigger in the slot. And the Davenport turned aside. The Panthers come through, couldn't release a shot. And now Mulcairn over center ice. Waiting for Kovarik in his feet. It's pushed aside. Into the near corner, picked up now by Fanenstein. Now to Pearson. Pearson holding on the line, walks through on his backhand. Now turning aside, looking back up, And we got a stoppage of play. Unsure of the call. Looks like a helmet may have came up for the stoppage of play. 13:25 left in the second period. Cyclones on top, 3-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 31-0. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones. Against the Panthers, number 15. Eaton chipped it through. And then the Panthers go up the far side. Gets chipped through. Schultz on the near side for the pickup. Looking back to Girardi. Girardi with it. Turning up to Jarecki, just out of his reach. The Panthers reconvene at their own blue. Gets dumped in. Picked up now by Schultz. Schultz over to Girardi. Girardi up the far wall to Eaton. Gets chipped through. Now picked up by the Panther defense. Rimmed around to number 81 on the near wall. Gets chipped through. Kept in by Schultz. Schultz trying to put it to Jarecki in the slot. Couldn't find him. Panthers pick up in the far corner. Chip through on the far wall. And now pick out to 81 over center. Now over the blue. Throw the shot. Off the stick of Moen into the far corner. Chipped out by Jarecki. Kept in by the Panther defense. Panthers still with it on the far wall. Tried getting it past Girardi. They couldn't do it. Girardi chips it through. Gets shot back into the near corner by the Panthers. Picked up by Schultz. Flipping it through. Neutral ice. Gets turned back by the Panthers. Girardi with it. Now up to the far wall. Trying to find Jarecki as he gets bombarded by the Panther defense. And the Panthers will throw it back in deep under the far corner for Girardi to pick up. A weird bounce off the wall, and the Panthers almost get a good look as it gets thrown across. But the Panther defense throws it high and wide of Moen's blocker back into the far corner. Panthers pick it up, try finding a shot off the pad of Moen. A nice save there. 11:54 left in the second period. Cyclones on top, 3-0, 31-10. Shots in favor of the Cyclones. Back wins the draw, keeps it for himself, tries getting through. Panthers take it away. 12 with it now. At the point, trying to force a shot off the glove and over. Picked up now by Fantasy in the far corner. The Panthers dig it out. 17 now with it at the blue line, throwing it across for 14 in front. Couldn't bury. Nice pad saved by Moen. Nelson pressuring in the far corner. Gets a little help from Dorfman. Now Crashback with it behind the net. Up to Fanenstein. Fanenstein up the wall to Beslin. Played out by Guthier on the near wall. Left for Crashback. Played up to the point for Fanenstein. Across to Nelson. A slap shot. Fired through. Kicked aside by Guthier to the near corner as the Panthers tried chipping it through. Gets put back into the near corner by Fanenstein. And the Panthers will play it off the wall. Gets out to center where Nelson can pick it up and throw it into the far corner. The Panthers reconvene, throw it up the far wall, and it will go all the way down for icing. 10:44 left in the second period. Cyclones on top, 3-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 31-11. Carroll on the draw for the Cyclones. 21 for the Panthers. Carl gets forced to his knees as the puck goes behind the net. Battle in the Zam corner on the near side. 2 Cyclones, 3 Panthers. And the puck is still kept in there by Fakana. Finally chipped out by the Panthers over neutral ice. Trying to get through Crest. It doesn't work. His teammate picks it up and fires one towards Moen and up and over. Puck gets through. A quick shot, high and wide, glove side for the Panthers. Picked up by Larson. And the Panthers hit their own teammate as the Cyclones exit the zone. Now Carroll with it, trying to find Picano's stick. Penalty upcoming to the Panthers and the Cyclones. Looks like Pecana and number 26 for the Panthers are going in for roughing. Two minutes aside. Looks like we're going to see some 4-on-4 action here. Larson and Schultz, Beslin and Kress. Schultz with a shot off the point, tipped by Beslin. Scores. Cyclones on top, 4-0 into the short 4-on-4 play. 5 seconds off the draw, 9:50 left in the second period. Cyclones on top, 4-0. Shot from Schultz, tipped by Beslin for his second. Still 4-on-4 action to come. As Pearson, Kovarik, Kress, and Schultz are out there for the Cyclones. Gets played through. The Panthers take down a Cyclone, no call on the play. Puck gets thrown in deep all the way down for an icing by the Panthers. Pearson on the draw, once more for the Cyclones. To his right, Kovarik. On the right side of Gutierrez, in the near corner. Pearson pushes it through, picked up by Kovarik in the near corner. Now Pearson behind the net with it. Pearson up to the far wall, walking the wall, cutting towards the center, walking through. On his forehand, has it pushed away from him as the Panthers collide in the near corner and try chipping it through. Pearson pushes it back in deep where the Panthers can throw it up the wall on the far side. Trying to get through Kress, number 28 is, as he's pushed down through the wall. Offsides the call. And Kress may be involved in some extracurriculars here as both linesmen help out in discombobulating the two players. Some pushes and shoving happening. Refs are keeping an eye on the situation. 9:12 left in the second period. Cyclones on top, 4-0. Minute 18 left in this 4-on-4 action. Offsides was a call on the Panthers. Just outside the Cyclone zone. Right-hand side of Mowat. On the far side of the ring. Mulcairn wins it back to Larson. Up the wall. Gets kept in by the Panthers. Looking across to Mulcairn. Off the wall. On his stick. Mulcairn a quick shot over the shoulder. He scores on Gutierrez. Cyclones on top. 5-0. Just under 9 minutes to go in the second period. 1:04 left in this 4-on-4 action. 2 goals so far in this 4-on-4 action. Eaton, Davenport, Larson, and Franny out there for the Cyclones right now. The Panthers win it back. 77 has it. Plays it over to his partner on the far side, looking towards 6 at center right. Now gets through on Franny's side. Now picked up by Franny behind the net up the near wall. Franny now with it. Stopping. Looking for Eaton. Gutierrez comes out to play the puck. Icing is not the call. And the Panthers reconvene and go over center ice. Now it's the attack going to the Panthers. Throw the shot just wide of Moen. Brandon keeps it and tries throwing it back to Larson behind the net. Gets picked off by the Panthers. The Panthers shoot one from the point just wide. And the Panthers have the rebound shot off the boards, off the pads. Now Larson has it, playing it up to Davenport on the near wall, up to Eaton. And Eaton now has it. So one-on-one. Eaton walks around, over the shoulder at Gutierrez. As Davenport drives the net, comes off the mooring, gets 6-0 Cyclones. 3 goals on this 4-on-4 action. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 34-11. Half the goals thus far has happened in the last 2 minutes. It's 6-0 Cyclones. Carroll, Millens, and Fanenstein out, and Nelson out there for the Cyclones. The Davenport netminder gets pulled, the backup goes in. Looks like number 38, Tyler Loudon, a freshman from out of Michigan. 6 seconds left in this 4-on-4 action. The Panthers take it back. Passing alongside to the far wall. Now playing it over. Now picked up by Fanenstein. Chipped in by Millens. Chased down by Pecana in the near wall. The Panthers play it up and out. Gets turned back by Millens. Millens applying pressure in the corner with Pecana. Millens walks to the top of the circle. A shot just wide of the glove of Loudon. The Panthers in the far corner turn up with it. Finding some room along the far wall. Number 4 tries dumping it in through. Gets tipped along. Fanenstein plays it up to Carroll on the near wall. Carroll over center ice. Got Bestlin with him. Tries throwing a shot through just wide of the blocker. Kept in by Dorfman. Put into the far corner. Chased down by Bestlin. Played up the wall by the Panthers. Panthers tried chipping it through, kept in by Nelson, throwing one towards Bestlin that's in the slot. A shot gets tipped aside to the near corner and thrown all the way down by the Panthers, icing the call as the touch up by Nelson. 6:48 left in the second period. Cyclones on top, 6-0. Shots in favor of your Cyclones, 35-11. Fresh back on the draw for the Cyclones. The Panthers win it back. Behind their net, playing it up the near wall to 81. 81 dumps it through, play to Schultz. Schultz passes it to Creshback, to Dorfman, to Bestlin, back to Creshback, tries finding Dorfman in front, just wide. A tic-tac-toe would have been nice there to add it to the lead for one more. Bestlin now with it, to Creshback, trying to find Dorfman in front off the pad. Now Schultz has it on the point, throws it into the near corner, picked up by Bestlin behind the net, tries finding Dorfman in front, couldn't get a stick on it, the Panthers walk out. Now 81 for the Panthers over center ice, gets taken aside by Bestlin. The Crest over to Dorfman on the near wall. Dorfman couldn't have a handle on it, gets tipped into the near wall. Crest back now with it in the near corner. Getting driven to the wall by a Panther, kept in by Schultz, now Dorfman at the top. Wires a slap shot off a body, gets taken down by Crest at the far point. Dorfman with it, tries chipping it through. Gets it through his Panther, defenseman. And Pearson will play it through to Kovarik as he gets labeled from behind in the slot by the Panther defense. As 15 goes up the wall with it. Now the Cyclones play it back. 2 Panthers go down at center ice trying to get the same puck. Penalty upcoming to Kovarik on the Cyclones as Schultz touches it up. Panthers will see the second power play of the night tonight as Kovarik goes to the box. Take it back as Pearson goes to the box. We have a miscommunication. 5 Cyclones out there when there's only supposed to be 4. Panthers are on the power play. 5:21 remaining in the second period. Cyclones on top 6-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 35-11. Davenport on the draw. Mad Strum at his feet. The Panthers come out, try chipping a shot through off of Davenport's leg, and he hobbles around. The Panthers at the top. A shot through off the pad of Moen. Another one saved by Moen again into the far corner. Now up to the Panther defense. Another shot wired through. Panthers on the near wall. Try working it through. 17 works it into the near corner. Gets taken away by Schultz. Helped away by Crest. Crest trying to turn away from it. And it gets thrown all the way through by Schultz. Played out by Lauder behind his net. As the Panthers reconvene and the Cyclones get a 3-man change on the penalty kill. 1:10 left on the penalty kill for the Cyclones as the Panthers go up the far wall. 91 with it. Gets helped through by Larson. Panthers try finding somebody through the middle. Gets taken away by Larson. Larson up the far wall. On his backhand. Waits up for it. Now chips it in. Directly on the chase. Loudon plays it behind the net for 77 in the far corner. He'll play it through the blue line. Now it's center ice, leaving it for 15. 15 with it, tries a shot off a crossbar into the netting. That was the Panthers' best look this whole period. Cyclones are still on top, 6-0. 40 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Cyclones. Shots are still in favor of the Cyclones, 35-14. Dorfman on the draw for the Cyclones. Gets chipped through by the Panthers. Now the Panthers have it at the point. Looking for a shot. Number 6 throws one through. Now picked up by 81 on the near wall. Down to 26, up to 14, back down to 26, or 28. Now 14 with it. Shot off of Nelson into the near corner. Helped out by Pekana. Kept in by 14. Chipped aside by Nelson into the far corner. Chased down by Fanenstein. As the Panthers play it behind the net. Now up the near corner, now up the near wall. Leaving it aside for 14 at the point. Over across for 2. Cyclone penalty expired. Shot off the stick of Moen behind the net. Davenport looking for options. The Cyclone retrieves it. Waffle boarded aside by Moen. 3:15 left in the second period. Cyclones on top 6-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 35-14. Pearson out of the box, taking the draw now against the Panthers, number 23. Panthers win it through, covered by Moen, sprawling save, 6 seconds off the clock. 3:09 left in the second. We'll have a redo draw. We'll see that all over once more. Pearson wins it back to Girardi, now behind the net for Larson. Larson going up the near corner, has it get chipped away by the Panthers. Now Kovarik goes down with it, and no call on the play. The Panthers have it up top. Panthers cutting over the far dot, taken away by Pearson. Pearson now up the far wall. Now to Mulcairn, back to Pearson on the backhand, couldn't find a way. Picked up by Kovarik in the near corner, helped out by Pearson. The Panthers play it behind their net. Number 4 takes it out, chips it up to the far wall for number 8. He'll walk over the blue, and he'll try and pull a shot through. Couldn't get it by. Passing along to his teammate into the near corner. Number 4 takes a shot off the post behind the net. Girardi plays it out to the far corner, where it can be played up by the Panthers. Picked off by Mulcairn, and he'll chip it through to Kovarik. Kovarik over center, now over the blue. Tries pulling it through, and almost gets reversed by the Panthers in the corner. Panthers wait for somebody to go up the center ice, and they'll try and find their man, number 24. Couldn't get it through. Larson will go to Kovarik. He'll chip it in deep. Picked up now by Crest back in the near corner. Trying to find Dorfman. Couldn't get a handle on it. Puts a shot off the pad. And the Panthers played up the near wall. Kept in by Schultz. tipped aside by 77, played up the wall to Kress. Kress throws it down into the far side, where Dorfman, now on the backhand, throws a shot in front. Couldn't find a way home. Now Beslin, playing it down to Dorfman on the near wall, trying to go across to Kress picked up by Kress, and he'll try and play it back to Kress back. It's a little too far out of his reach. Schultz will have to retreat. Schultz up the near wall to Dorfman. Tries pulling it through, couldn't. Schultz once more at the red, dumps it in. Cyclones retrieve on the far wall. Dorfman throws it towards the front of the net for Beslin. Kept in by Schultz. Now Beslin with it. A quick shot off a skate, deflected into the far corner as Dorfman gets taken down, and some extracurriculars start happening. As 26 for the Cyclones. A little bit of retaliation there by Dorfman, forcing 91, who plowed him all the way into the glass head first. Minute 6 remaining in the second period. Cyclones on top 6-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 37-14. '61 goes to the box for the Panthers. Looks like it's going to be for roughing. Tyler Kaminsky goes to the box for roughing for the Panthers. Face off to the left of Ladau. Mulcairn, Kovera, and Davenport on the draw for the Cyclones. Davenport walks through, finds Fanenstein at the point. Back to Kress. Kress down to Koveric. Up the wall to Kress. Kress down to the goal line for Davenport, and the Panthers clear out. Now picked up by Fanenstein at his gold and blue. Turning back with it. Over to Kress. Kress holding on to it. Turning back. Finding some time and space. Going up to Davenport on the near wall. Tries chipping it through to Koveric. He does, but as it gets taken away and forced to Davenport's stick, and it comes to Fanenstein at the top. Back to Kress. Over to Fanenstein. A quick shot covered by Lodier as some extracurriculars come through, and Davenport takes down one of the Panthers as some hacking and whacking towards his teammates. He didn't appreciate it. 22 seconds left in the second period. Cyclones on top, 6-0. Minute 16 remains in the Cyclone power play as of right now. Davenport will be going to the box for the Cyclones. And the captains will have to talk to the referees after this. Little huddle, a little referee huddle, right by the score box. It all started with some hacking and whacking in front of the Panthers netminder. There's 2 Panthers in the box for Davenport. One of them is number 61. The other one is number 14, Brendan Howlett. Ian Davenport's now in the box for the Cyclones. And it looks like Davenport will have a 2-minute penalty for roughing, and it looks like Brandon Pullett will get a 5-minute for roughing for the Panthers. We will see some special teams here. A 4-on-3. 22 seconds left in the second period. Cyclones are on top, 6-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 36-14. Freshback, Pearson, Beslin, and Kress for the Cyclones on the ice. Pearson wins it back to Kress, walking the line with it. Walking over to Schultz. Pearson. Pearson now back to Kress. Kress looking for a shot, shoots one, low glove, unloading, and the Panthers clear out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The period expires. Cyclones are on top, 6-0 after the second. Shots are in favor of the Cyclones, 37-14. Welcome back to the Patterson Ice Arena for the third period. Davenport still in the box for the Cyclones. So is Tyler Kaminsky and Brandon Pollitt. Cyclones win the draw. Bestland takes it back, circling back to Pearson. Pearson up the near wall to Nelson. Nelson throwing it in for Creshback, just out of his reach, picked up by the Panther defense. Panthers try clearing, taken by Pearson. Over to Nelson. Nelson on the near wall, looking for a shot, back to Pearson. Pearson down to Bestland. Bestland now within the far corner, looking down to Creshback. Looking up to Bestland at the top of the circle. Shoots, he scores! Over the blocker of Powell. Bestland with his third of the night. Cyclones on top. 7-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 38-14. 4-on-4 action to come as Davenport's in the box for another minute 12. Mulcairn wins it back to Nelson. Nelson now with it. Over to Fanenstein on the far wall. Looking back to Nelson. Nelson up to Dorfman, just under his stick, goes all the way down, icing the call. Fanenstein now to with it. Up to the far end of the ice, Dorfman. Panthers have it turned over to them, and 81 will take the blue. 81 now with it. Trying to find his partner on the wall. Half flap shot, taken away by Fanenstein. Up to Nelson. Nelson now with it towards center. In his own zone. Playing it through, just under the stick of Mulcair. Goes all the way down. And the Panthers will touch up. Now up the near wall, 77 with it. 77, now trying to chip it through. He does. Picked up now by Fanenstein in the near corner. Played it back to Nelson behind the net. Nelson up the far wall to Mulcair. Doesn't get through as the Panthers chip it back in. Now picked up by Fanenstein. Applied pressure by number 18. And the Cyclones are full strength. Nelson now with it. Up the wall to Dorfman. Off the wall, goes all the way down. And the Panthers clear out to Larson. Over to Kress at the red line. Kress now with it. Leaving it back for Davenport. Just under his stick, he comes out. Plays it back to Larson. Larson now up to Jarecki. Jarecki up to Kress. Kress leaving it for Kogubaric on the near wall. Number 4 takes it away for the Panthers. Panthers try clearing. They do. Goes all the way back down to Larson on the near wall. Back played up to Eaton. Eaton now with it, turning towards the center of the ice in his own zone. Gaining speed over the red. Stick handling through, gets knocked aside. Puck goes in the near corner as Davenport reconvenes. And 18 sends it all the way back down the length of the ice. 2:04 remaining on the power play for the Cyclones. Larson picks it up behind the net. Slight pressure from number 8 by the Panthers. Up the wall on the far side to Davenport. The Panthers chip through, picked up now by Kovarik at his own blue. Now over the red at neutral ice. Kovarik, stick handling through, a shot. Patted aside by Loden. Eaton with it, over to Kress. Kress looking back to Larson at the top. Down to Eaton. Eaton coming with it towards the center, over to Kress. Kress walking towards the center, now back down the wall. Looking across, tip by the Panther defense into their own bench. 16:44 left to play in the third period. Cyclones on top, 7-0. Bryan Pollitt still in the box for another minute 23. Cyclones shots are 40 for the Panthers 14. Pearson's on the draw for the Cyclones against Panthers number 81. Pearson pushes it through, picked up by the Panther defense. Franny with it, keeps it in on the wall, tries tipping it through to Crestback. 61 shifts it all the way through, now picked up behind that by Schultz. 1:10 left on the power play for the Cyclones. Schultz walking out towards the center, up to the far wall, back for Pearson, plays it back to Schultz, now up to the near wall for Franny, gets chipped through. Offside's the call, Franny chase. Face off outside the offensive zone. 16-16 left here in the third period. Cyclones on top 7-0. Besson with a hat trick. Early in the third period, he completes it. Pearson plays it back to Franny. Franny up the near wall, over Crestback's head, picked up by the Panther defense. And now the Panthers have it in their own zone, and they look to clear all the way down into the far corner, played out behind the net by Moen. Now played to the near corner by Moen to Franny. Franny up the near wall, played to center to Pearson. Pearson up the near wall to Crestback. Crestback now at the dot, looking across for Pearson's stick, couldn't find it. Rebound goes back to Schultz on the point, plays down to Besson, looking for Stewart, walking in through the front, pushed the shot aside, Loden pushes it in the near corner. Besson now has it. Besson with it, looking to Schultz, goes right through his feet. 11 seconds remain on the Cyclone power play. Now played out behind that by Moen. Schultz rims it all the way out to neutral ice to Pearson on the near wall. Plays it through by Crestback. Crestback with it. Turning up and turning back over to Nelson. Couldn't put a shot on it. Penalty expires for the Panthers, and they'll head up ice. 28 throw the shot on Moen. Now picked by Nelson. Now into the far wall. Now Pearson has it. Picked up and through. Pearson still has it, trying to find Crestback, and it gets tipped in. All the way through. Icing is not the call as Bacana beats his man there. Bacana now with it. Tries throwing it through from Mulcairn. Played by Dorfman. Dorfman back to Mulcairn, pulls a quick shot. Cleared all the way back down by the Panthers. Icing the call as Fanenstein touches up. 14:39 left in the third period. Cyclones on top 7-0. Shots in favor of the Cyclones 41-15. Mulcairn on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers number 15. Mulcairn wins it back to Bacana. The Panthers tip it through. 81 over neutral ice. Over the line, offside's the call. 14:31 now left in the third. Cyclones are still on top. Panthers have had a little bit of pressure here and there tonight, but a few good chances have had Harrison Moen standing on his head to keep the puck out. Mulcairn takes the draw, wins it back to Fanenstein. Now over to Nelson. Back to Fanenstein. Up the far wall to Bacana. He gets hit. Now down to his knees. Mulcairn picks it up. Mulcairn chips it through. Panthers pick up. Now Fanenstein at center ice. Looking across to his partner Nelson. Nelson now with it at the red line. Dumping it in on net. Loden plays it to his D-man in the far corner. Up the wall. Now picked up by 81. Girardi almost lays a huge hit right off the bench. Just misses his man. As Nelson tries to find Dorfman at the far blue, he does. Dorfman walking through center, back to Mulcairn, tries pulling off a shot, tipped down. Girardi keeps it in and off the wall. The Panthers keep it alive as Dorfman throws another shot on net. And the Panthers take it up the far wall. Almost tipped out of play by Jarecki. The Panthers reconvene, now over center. Circling back with it, number 17, off the bench, number 84. He'll have to turn back as the pass was behind him. The Panthers try going all the way down. They do, icing the call as it's touched up by Kirby Larson. 13:25 left in the third period. Cyclones are on top 7-0. Shots in favor of yours very truly, the Cyclones, 43-15. Millen's on the draw for the Cyclones. Wins it back to Carroll. Over to Larson on the point. A quick shot off a shin pad for the Panthers. The foot race between Girardi and number 91 for the Panthers. Girardi tips to the side. Picked up now by Larson, circling behind his net now. And he'll try playing it up, but it gets tipped back. Millen's now plays it up to Drecke on the near wall. The Panthers keep it in. 84 has the puck, getting pressured by Girardi, and Millens and Jarecki. The Panthers turn up with it. Whistle blown. A penalty upcoming to the Panthers. The Cyclones will go on the power play. Number 84. Roughing the call. Davenport, Pearson, Kovarik, Kress, and Schultz out there on the power play for the Cyclones. 12:54 left in the third period. Number 94. Maddox McCullen, roughing. 2 minutes. Davenport misses the puck and the Panthers go off the ice. It's a 3-on-2. Schultz hoists number 4 to the wall, and the Panthers will play it all the way back to their own blue as their defenseman breaks a stick trying to gather the puck, and Loden will play it behind his own net. Pressured now by Kovarik, and the puck gets turned up the wall. The Panthers are now on the near wall, chipping it through. Now the puck is picked up by Schultz, circling behind his own net to Kress, picked off by the Panthers, number 8. Near corner, 8 still with the puck, getting pressured by Kress and Schultz. Kress now with the puck on the near wall. Looking across to Davenport, just under his stick, he'll circle back, go back to Schultz. Schultz on the near wall, playing it up to Pearson on the near wall. Now over the blue, Pearson turning back with it. Looking across, now going down with it. Throwing it down to Kovarik, picked off by the Panthers. Puck goes all the way back down. Mullen will stop it behind the net, and Schultz will pick it up. Schultz up the far wall, gets picked up by Kressback. Over to Kress, chipped through by Beslin. Beslin now with it in the near corner, up to Kress. Kress across, tipped aside by the Panthers. Franny now with it. Just Beslin. Beslin looking to back to Franny. Franny pulling the shot. Patted aside by Loden, picked up by the Davenport defense. Now Dorfman with it. Puck comes off of his stick, reconvened by Kressback now to Kress. Now Kress back with another shot right into the glove. Played out to the side. The Panther defense can't catch a break as the puck ricochets off the glass in a weird manner and comes right out to the Cyclones in the slot. Whistle blows, 11:06 left in the third period. Cyclones on top, 7-0. Dorfman now has a penalty for the Cyclones. "45 shots on goal for the Cyclones, 15 shots on goal for the Panthers. 4-on-4 play for the next 12 seconds. Then the Panthers will go on the power play. Mulcairn takes the draw, wins it back. Panthers win it up towards their defense at the blue line. They'll throw it in deep on the far wall. Number 8, 91 will walk through behind the net, playing up 277 at the point, back to 91, down to the goal line, looking across, picked aside by Franny. And now Mulcairn will play the puck on the far side up to their point, 77, a shot off the mask, sprawling save by minute 29 left in the Cyclone penalty kill, 10:34 left in the third period. Cyclones on top, 7-0. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones, 17 for the Panthers. Panthers win the faceoff. 81 turns back with it. Now sitting at the hash mark, goes up and walks across the blue line. Teammate finds a shot at the far dot. Pad saved by Moen as he's sliding across the crease. Whistle blows, 10:23 left in the third. Moen's been standing on his head tonight. Eaton wins the puck back. Larson throws it up the board. A nice little flip shot on net. Moen will cover that. Glove it down. Another whistle to come. 10:17 left in the third. Only a couple seconds have been chipped off here. Minute 12 still on the penalty kill of Dorfman's roughing. Eaton on the draw. The Panthers win it back. 84 chips it in to the near corner, pressured now by Larson. Larson tries tipping it out. He does. It's a foot race. Jarecki couldn't get there in time. The Panthers try and turn up with it. Now at the far wall, the Panthers have it. Panthers at the dot. Try finding a slot shot. They can't. Cyclone defense is all over it. Nelson and 28 going out in front of the net, battling for it. And now 28's holding on to Nelson's stick as the puck gets cleared out to neutral ice, directly on the chase of 94. 94 drops it to 2. 2 up, looking towards the center to 94 again. 94 over the red to 2 at the blue. Chips it into the near corner. Larson to rim all the way around. It will go all the way back down into the Panther territory. 2 stopping behind his own net. Walking out towards the middle of the 8 on the far wall. Gets it around Millens. Hits the side. Walking in front. Moen with pad save. Comes out to the point. Cyclone penalty expires. As a Panther throw a shot on net. 9 minutes remaining. A little bit of a dog pile happening there to keep the Panther playing from falling on top of Moen. Just under 9 minutes here to go in the third. Cyclones on top. 7-0. Shots are still in favor of the Cyclones. 46-19. Carroll on the draw for the Cyclones. Panthers 24. Panthers 24 wins it back. 16. 16, a quick shot, couldn't get a full grip on it. And the Cyclones go all the way down, and it's going to be an icing. 8:51 on the clock now. Only a couple seconds shaved off here. We'll have a rematch on the same draw. Carroll, number 8. Number 8 wins it back to 16 at the point. Over to number 4. Gets around Millens. Diving blocked by Carroll, but it doesn't go all the way through. Another shot patted aside by Moen. Chipped out. And will go down to the Panther blue line. Panther defense will reclaim the puck. They'll throw it across. Carroll on the chase. Now Millens on it. Keeping it in. Trying to battle through. Number 8 chips it out and through. And now he has it over the Cyclone blue. Turning back with it. Number 16 for the Panthers over at center ice. Back to number 4. Looking to number 8 on the near wall. Looking back to number 4 again. A quick shot. He scores. Number 23. Moen does not like it. And there's a big scrum in front after the Panther goal. Everybody's got a man. I think Moen might challenge this for goaltender interference, as 23 definitely in Moen's pass. 8:08 left on the clock in the third period. Referees still say the goal counts, but they're going to have a meeting right now. Pearson's going to talk to the referees. You can tell Moen's frustrated. He definitely thinks that was goaltender interference, as he was pointing at his crease just now, talking to Schultz at the front of his net. So we'll have a discussion. A pause of play. 5-minute major assigned to Riley Kress for the Cyclones. He's sitting in the box. Penalty just went on the board. Referees are still talking to the Iowa State captains. It looks like they're going to stick with the decision here. Face off at center ice, goal counts. Cyclones will be shorthanded once more. The Panthers will see the power play once more. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones, 17 for the Panthers. Pearson pushes it through, Mulcairn picks it up. Girardi picks up and throws it all the way back down. And Walls will leave it for his defense. And he'll play it up the near wall, number 17. Looking across ice for number 12. Number 12, now with it on the far wall, quick shot as he gets bolted inside by Schultz. And the puck comes up to the Panther defense. Another shot from number 77 at the point flutters across into the far corner. Panthers are being held up by Schultz in the corner. Puck pops out off the crossbar and out of play from the top of the circles. 91 with the shot for the Panthers. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 45-21. Panthers are slowly clawing their way back up the hole they dug on the absence of shots they had in the first two periods. And the Panthers will have another one right here, off the stick of the Cyclone defense, up and over the net. And the Panther defense has it once more on the far wall, looking back on the near side at the point. Number 2, looking across, up to the top. Now 2 on the near wall. Walking towards the center, pulls the trigger, shoots a shot off a stick into the near corner. 14 on the pickup. 14 throws it now into the near corner behind the net for 15. Jarred aside by Girardi as 81 gets canceled out by Schultz. And 15 and 2 will play catch with it. Now over to 14, a shot from the center of the point. Just one. 2 down to 15 on the goal line. Now 81 on the goal line. Back to 15. Looking for a slot shot in front. Gets across. Nobody's there. Can't find it. Mad scramble. 14 throws a shot through. 4 Cyclones put their legs down. No puck's getting through underneath thumb. 15 on the near wall. Still has it. It looks like Girardi is hurt. And he keeps getting kicked at and in front. Now 14 pulls a shot at the top of the circles. He shoots, he scores. And Girardi's getting pummeled by a Panther player after the goal. Refs have lost control of this game. They've let a few hits and slashes go a little bit too far. Girardi gets up. He looks fine. Girardi's being sent off the ice. Another Panther to the box, or not, as he hops back out. The refs will talk in front of the penalty box once more. Cyclones are still on top, score 7-2. Just under 3 minutes remains in Riley Kress's penalty for roughing. Shots are still in favor of the Cyclones, 45-24. 6:06 left in the third period. The Panther goal led to a bunch of extracurriculars after the whistle. Girardi sent off the ice. Now the referees are talking once more. Awaiting their decision are Schultz. At number 23 for the Panthers, Justin Turner. Number 28 goes to the box for the Panthers. Unsure the call. No time on the board. And we'll wait some more. They should really start playing some Jeopardy music. I might like it here. Now that we've listened to the entire It's Tricky song, it's silent. And we're still awaiting the ref's decisions. Some vulgar comments from the fans in front of us. Refs are talking it out with the coaching staffs of both teams. Play will resume, face off at center ice after the goal by Davenport. Cyclones are still on the penalty kill. Breslin takes the face off. Panthers chip it through to their defense. 17 to 77 on the far wall. 77 with it. Now holding it on the far wall. 17 now takes it from him, puts it down into the far corner. 51 on the pickup. 81 gets bodied aside by Schultz behind the net. Puck goes up top to 17 at the point. Now 77. A quick shot off Dorfman's shin pad. That looks like a stinger. The puck will go all the way down. Picked up by 77 behind his net. Turned aside. Picked off by Eaton. Quick shot off the blocker and glove by Loden. 5:27 remaining in the third. 2:20 remaining in the penalty by Kress. A Panthers in the box, no time on the board, unsure what the call is. Eaton's on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers 81. 81 wins it back to 14, and 14 waits behind his net. Slight pressure from Jarecki in front. 14 will walk out to the center. He'll hit the red, find his teammate over the blue. A quick shot on net, turned aside by Moen, 81 into the near corner, dropped down to 15. 15 gets to the blue, turns around, goes back down to 81 at the goal line. 15 at the dot, quick slap shot, covered by Moen. A slash by number 9. Schultz doesn't want to take it. He will push number 9 away. 1:48 remaining in the Cyclone penalty kill. This game's getting chippy. Cyclones on top, 7-2. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 45-26. 23 and 15 on the draw. Eaton wins it back to Nelson in the near corner. Nelson has it stripped from him by 15. 15 walks to the center, puts it wide on his backhand. The Panthers now have it at the point. Quick shot across. Catches Moen sliding, but it gets chipped through. Now Eaton has a foot race with 14. 14 picks it up in the far corner, cycles it back. And now 15 had it as he crosses over center. Now down to 8 on the far wing. Dropping it back to 94. 94 has it. Plays it down in the corner for 14. 94 at the point. Slap shot into the glove of Moen. 1:06 remaining in the penalty for the Cyclones. 4:13 left in the third period. Millen's on the draw for the Cyclones. 17 for the Panthers. Wins it back to number 12. To 16, a quick shot. Across. Glove saved by Moen. Face off to the left-hand side of Moen. 4:08 left in the third. 101 on the penalty kill. Davenport lets the puck drop, ties up his man. The Panthers take a shot, and Larson eats it, and Millens and Larson on a 2-on-1. Millen shoots the shoulder up and over the netting behind the net. Face off to the left of the Panther goaltender. 3:56 remaining in the third. 49 seconds left remaining on the Crest penalty kill. Millens on the draw for the Cyclones against 17 for the Panthers. 17 wins it back to 77. Plays it to 12 behind his net. Getting chased by Millens. Makes him lose the puck. Hasn't turned back with it. Now to 77 on the near wall. Now to 17. 17 tries going across. Gets tipped back to 77. 17 now has it on the near wall. Puts it in behind the net. Bounces off the wall. On the back of the netting. Larson gets it off the net and hits it to the corner. High stick by the Panthers, and the Cyclones touch up. Panthers reconvene, glove down by Millens, and near wall in their zone gets taken down. 81 with it, 91 with it. Left the near wall. Over the blue, passes it to 51 on his backhand. Now passes it below the goal line. Quick shot up and over. Glove down. That gets pushed off the moorings, and Fanenstein is going to go after whoever pushed Moen. And there's a big crowd on the far wall. Crest penalty expires. Moen doesn't look too happy, and neither do the Cyclones for whichever Panther touched the goalie. 3:04 remaining in the third period. This game's getting chippy. Penalty gone to the Panthers. Looks to be number 12, Ryder McMillan. Cyclones are on the power play. They're up 7-2. 3:04 remaining in the third. Shots in favor of the Cyclones, 46-28. Panthers have worked their way back just a little bit. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones. Wins it through, picked up by Mulcairn. And Pearson now with it. Has time, looking to Franny. Franny looking down to Kovarik, gets shoved to his knee into the wall. Picked up now by the Cyclones. Pearson now with it in the near corner. And now Mulcairn and Pearson try moving it up the wall. Now Kovarik has it in the near corner. Try leaving it back for Pearson. The Panthers clear. Will go all the way back down. Moen's going to play it. Leaving it for Schultz. Schultz has it at his goal line. Minute 20 on the power play. Plays it up to Mulcairn. Across to Pearson. Pearson now with it. Turning back to Schultz. Playing it along. Back to Franny. Franny over the blue. Back to Schultz at the blue. Over to Pearson. Pearson, a quick shot. Tipped aside. Still loose, picked up by Kovarik on the near wall. Over to Pearson on the far side, looking across, now going behind the net. Pearson still with it, passing it along on the near wall to Kovarik. Up to Franny on the near wall side. Now to Schultz. Schultz, a quick shot high. Blocker to side and cleared by the Panthers. Puck will go all the way back down to Moen. 34 seconds remaining on the power play, as Franny has it on the near wall. Now passing across to Kovarik. Kovarik over the blue. Dancing through. Sticked aside by the Panthers. Now Dorfman tries walking the goal line. A quick shot off the post. picked up by Crestback. Trying to find Franny. Pulls the trigger off the shin pad. The Panthers have it on the near wall. Over the red. Over the blue. Into the near corner. Number 8, bodied aside by Besslin. Now Crest with it. At center. Passing along to Besslin on the far wall. Besslin looking for options. Going across. Looking for Crest. Picked up now by Dorfman. And the Panthers are now full strength. Shot goes off the post. Crestback's eating a bunch of hits in the corner. And Beslin's now walking out of the corner with the puck. Now taken down by 24. Now Dorfman's chasing after it. Looks like the Panthers are just going to try it holding their zone. 35 seconds left. Holding it behind the net. They're going to throw one off the boards all the way down. They got an offsides call. Referee is pointing all the way back down. We'll have a draw in the Panthers zone. 30.4 seconds left in the third period. Cyclones on top, 7-2. Shots on goal for the Cyclones, 50. Shots on goals for the Panthers, 28. Face off to the right-hand side of Loden. Carroll on the draw with Millens and Pecana, Schultz and Kress on the point. Panthers win it. They'll take it behind their net. Backhand to the near wall. Bauer picks it up. And now Pecana is involved in some extracurriculars on the near wall. Can't see which Davenport player has it. Linesmen are going to try and break this one up. 21.6 seconds left in the third. And we still see some hands being thrown. Linesmen are still wrestling around with them. Everybody else has a man that they're standing next to. Pecana lost his helmet in the fun of it. Pecana's being showed the exit. And same with the Davenport player. I didn't catch his number. .6 seconds remaining in the third. Cyclones on top, 7-2. And we'll have another discussion by the time box. Once more with the referees and linesmen. Captains waiting respectfully outside the referee circle. Fun one here in Grand Rapids. It'd be more fun if they played Jeopardy music every time the referees talk. They're just going to let this one play out. 5 aside. Pearson, Fastlane, Tressback, Schultz, and Kress out there for your Cyclones. 21.6 seconds remaining. Puck drops. The Cyclones win it back. Pearson now with it on the near wall. Just tapping it through. Glove down by Pearson once more. Holding it on the wall. Dumping it in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As time expires, your Cyclones win. Final score, 7-2. Shots on goal for the Cyclones, 50. Shots on goal for the Panthers, 28. See you guys all back here tomorrow afternoon at 1:35 for a rematch.